Alright, dudes and dudettes, this is pretty much stage one right here. You're looking at it. Got Shorty Headers, got an old school tuner that still does custom tunes, so that's good. Cold air intake, that's pretty much everything. These are just the gaskets for the headers. Gonna head over to Ivan's here in a second, go to the garage and try to get all this installed today, but I've heard a lot of things about the headers taking forever, so we'll kind of just see how that goes. Alright, heading out. Hopefully when I return I will have headers and cold air intake installed. So I guess I can talk a little bit about the dyno results. So we did that a couple days ago. The dyno was actually kind of, I think it was pretty close to what I was expecting. So I got 311 horsepower at the rear wheels. That was my peak. I'm guessing that if I did a dyno jet, it would have been a little bit higher reading, but I'm not really concerned about what the actual horsepower rating is per se. I'm just doing it to record what it is right now, completely stock, and then if I can get everything installed today that I want to get installed, then I can maybe go back this weekend and get the stage one dyno complete already and see how much horsepower exactly all these modifications got it. I'm already thinking about stage two. So stage two, like I said, is going to be a camshaft and probably the intake manifold. So I'm trying to figure out what I want exactly, because I know that there's no springs required camshafts out there, but I feel like I'd be leaving some horsepower on the table, possibly if I decided not to go with a higher lift camshaft. On the other side of the spectrum, I know that there's a lot of people that recommend these bigger camshafts, and they're not necessarily great for this setup. I want to have the good sound and all that stuff. I know it's difficult with the VVT Hemis. It's just hard to get that good low-B cam sound. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I want. I'm kind of between a few right now. Comcam's HRT, which seems to be like a more streetable version of what they've already come out with, like their phaser cams though. And then there's some of those no springs required cams. The stage one of the HRT series is a no springs required camshaft. There's also a thumper cam, which is what I had in my Javelin, same series at least. It just sounds like a bigger cam. A lot of people make fun of it, call it a car show cam. You don't really have any more power. You just sound like you do. And those are pretty much my choices that I'm looking at right now. If anybody has any recommendations though, then that'd be awesome. Let me know in the comments. The ulterior motive, I guess, of this whole thing is I'm trying to do everything on a budget. I want to do things cheaper than a lot of other people do it, I guess. I'm trying to do as much of this work myself, you know, obviously with help. I'm trying to make it so I don't have to bring it to the shop every time I want to do something. I also pick up stuff used if possible, you know, like the JBA Shorty Headers that we're putting on here. I got them for $160 locally from a guy on Craigslist. So I got those super cheap, brand new. They're like $600 still. And I'm also not bringing to the shop, and the shop won't usually charge us something like $400 to $600 just to install them. So right there, you're talking $1,000 just to get Shorty Headers installed, and that's just pretty damn crazy to me. And I'm gonna do it for like $200, so I'm saving a shitload of money right there. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do, especially with this stage one. Like everything that I bought, I got a cold air intake, a tuner, even though it's an older one, but I got a cold air intake, tuner, and headers for less than $400. That's quite a bit of improvement for $400. But I'm gonna do whatever I can to try to keep the cost down. And this is sort of gonna be like a budget build. We're gonna see how much we can do with a little bit of money, comparatively speaking. See what the limit is, horsepower and money-wise.